Hello, my name is Miss Barton. I teach 4th grade at Chapelwood Elementary, and this is the Seed Festival, and today we're working with Mr. Crosslin.
Hey, thanks for that introduction. You know, this is the 11th Seed Festival. For 11 years, students in Wayne Township have been scientist farmers. That's right. You're going to grow something like a farmer, and you're going to do it in a scientific way. Can I see your thumbs? Oh, they're not green yet, but they will be green. We're going to get a green thumb after this project. Here's what you're going to do. We're starting a grow project. And this grow project we call the Seed Festival. And it's not a contest, it is a festival to see who can grow seeds. And you might think, grow seeds? You see, we're going to go through the complete life cycle from seed to sprout to true leaf to flowers to pollination, to fertilization, to seed pods, all the way back to more seeds. We're going to do that in about 35 days. Now, every 4th grade in Wayne Township is doing this right now. 48 classrooms are doing this. And for example, this was one of the rooms I worked with on Monday, and you can see they already have sprouts. This is called Brassica Rapa because it will germinate rapidly. In fact, in just a couple days. And we're going to set this up in your room. There's going to be 5 groups that work together to build a grow tub that looks like this, that we're going to plant. It has water, it has wicks to put the water up, and we're going to learn all it takes for you to be a scientist farmer. Now, one of our sponsors for this project is Dow AgroSciences. And in 40 days, one lucky student is going to be selected as the science ambassador for your class. And you're going to go with me and your chaperone to Dow AgroSciences for a day of science discovery. And the day that you're going to bring your poster to show what your class did. And you're going to meet scientists, you're going to do a report, and there's some good food too. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that poster. Okay, boys and girls, each of your groups has a packet with lots of information. It's your job to become an expert on these plants. Brassica Rapa. Everybody say Brassica Rapa.
Brassica Rapa.
And that is the scientific name of the plant you're going to grow. Brassica Rapa. Let's take a look at that poster. This was from a class last year. And the reason I'm showing you is because each class will make a poster. And you see, this was from Stoutfield, Mrs. Sheeler, who is now your art teacher here. So if you have any questions, you can ask her about this. And you can do this any way you want. You might want to make a drawing of the life cycle of Brassica Rapa. You might want to do reports like they did with all kinds of really good information. And you will keep track of how many seeds you started with, how many germinated, how many pods, and when you opened up the seeds, how many seeds you ended up. Check this out. In her class last year, the total pods were 113, and of those 113, they had 451 seeds. Can you guys do better than that?
Yes.
All right, well, let's get started. You're killing me. Are we on? Oh, thanks, Nicole. We'll just edit that part out, Aaron. All right, so here's some of the materials. This is what's going to be a grow tub. In order to get to this, you have a grow tub with water already in it, I believe. And then I designed this with Dr. Paul Williams, who is the person who worked with Brassica Rapa. You see these seeds, and they're very, very small. What he did over many, many generations, he would plant some seeds, and the ones that germinated and grew the quickest, he would cross those and pollinate, so every generation was quicker and quicker to turn into a plant. Until now, you plant these, and in 2 days later, they sprout. In nature, seeds don't usually do that. If a apple seed started to grow, what would happen if it was December in January for that apple seed? It's going to be what? Frozen. So if so nature says, hey, seeds rest during the winter, and when the springtime comes, two things happen. When the springtime comes, two things happen. Water comes and the sun heats the earth. So we're going to add water. See the water here? We're going to add water. And for sunlight, you have a grow box, which we'll take a look at a little bit later. So here's how this is going to work. You have materials like this, a grow cup, and you have something that is very strange. This is a hard, dry piece of peat. Peat is a plant. But your teacher has been soaking these, and if someone go get me 2 of them, I'll show you what happens when you put these. These are dehydrated. Anybody know what dehydrate means?
Doesn't have water.
Doesn't have water, okay? And when we add water to it, these turn into something else. They soak up the water, and this is what we're going to plant our seeds in. So here comes 2 of them. Okay, so here are 2 of these that have got water added to them. So they start like this, and now they're like that. So these are your materials. You have moist, oh, by the way, don't squeeze these. We want them to stay nice and wet. We might need to add more water to these. They're kind of dry. We have grow cups. We have a wick. We have fertilizer, food, and we have vermiculite that goes on top. So we have everything here to get started. Let's go back to our seats and start our planting. Okay, so I have now my peat. Peat is a plant. It's like sphagnum peat from Canada. You saw what happens when it's dehydrated. We hydrate it, put water in these. Now don't squeeze them out, but that's something we're going to use. Let's take your grow cup. You have 4 of these. And let's put this wick. Anybody have an idea what this wick will be used for when we, what do you think? Yes?
I think it would be like where water goes up.
Water goes up.
And it waters the plants.
And it waters the plants. If water goes up the wick, what's going to come down the wick? What part of the plant will go down the wick? The roots. Very good. So let's go ahead and put all 4 of these. Push your wick through like this. And look, this is important. Pull them all the way up like that. See that? Check it out. I'm going to do 4. You should do yours. Push them from the bottom and make sure they're sticking all the way out the top. Like this. Here we go. Ready? Look, if you don't know. And then set them down. Don't pick them up or they'll fall out. Here's what you want to do. And then set it down.
There's water in this.
Doesn't matter. Ready? Okay. Okay, so we have the wicks ready. And you notice I've set them down because if I lift them up, they'll fall out. I want you to take your peat and we're going to tear, there's a little bag around it. So let's tear that bag open.
1 for each.
You can, you're going to have leftover. And we're going to take some of this. Now this is important. Don't squeeze it. And we're going to put some of this in each cup. About halfway through. Halfway. Fill the cups. Let me show you. About halfway. Okay? But don't squeeze it. Go ahead. Put your peat. Fill your cups halfway. Okay, so you notice that I put it in there. I'm going to use my pencil. Actually, I'm going to use your pencil to push it down. Don't squeeze it, but I want it about halfway. See how it's halfway? Halfway, but don't squeeze it. I'm using the tip of my pencil to make it even. Ready? Everybody do that. Okay, I want to add one more thing. Let's take your pipette that looks like this, and let's put, watch. I'm going to put just a little bit of water around these. Just a little bit of water on each one of them, okay?
Can we do
And that should make it smooth, all right? So you guys ready to try this? Just a little bit of water in them to make it nice and smooth. Here you go. Take that. Use my water. And do yours.
There's nothing in there.
Well, you got to put the water in. Squeeze it. Squeeze. Let go while it's still underwater. No, keep it. There you go. Now let go. Try it one more time. Squeeze it. And now let go of it and leave it in the water. And it sucks the water up. Now try it. There you go. Good job. Okay. All right, each plant needs, every living thing needs food. And so this is the plant food that we're using. And the plant food we're using is time release, these little pellets. Now, if I don't put enough in there, what's going to happen to the plant?
It's gonna die.
What if I put too much in there?
You're gonna still die.
I think it's like still gonna grow a little bit, but it might die.
Yeah, too much is not good, not enough. So we've calculated you put 5 of these pellets in each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Go ahead and put 5 time release food fertilizer pellets in each grow cup. Okay, when you're finished, you notice that we're half filled with peat and we have the 5 fertilizer pellets right there. Now it's time to add more peat moss. All right, so we have our cup ready. It's time now to put more peat. Now I want you to, don't fill them all the way up, but put more peat moss almost to the top. Don't squeeze it, almost to the top, but leave room. Right about like that. Right about like that. Go ahead, get started, guys.
If you covered it up, you won't see the seeds, correct?
It needs to be nearly at the top. Yeah, like at that little line.
Once you have them filled up, go ahead and water them and get them kind of level again. Put a little more water and get them level. Use the pipette to water them and get it level, okay? Remember, it is dripping. That's a good sign. I'll do one more, then you guys do yours. Nice and level and dripping. Go ahead. All right, so now we're almost ready. In fact, we are ready for the seeds. Now, Brassica Rapa seeds are so small. Your teacher's going to pass these out, and what we're going to do is put 2, and you might have, Ms. Barton, a couple cups that have 3. We're going to put 2 seeds, very small seeds, into, oh, just don't push them down, just drop them on top of the grow cup so they look like that. Can you see the seeds? Okay, let's add the seeds.
3, 2.
2.
Yep. You already have 3. Do you have any picture?
They look like babies.
Spread those apart just a little bit, Victor. Okay, use your pencil to spread one on one side. Don't plant the seeds right next to each other. If you can spread them apart a little bit, that's better. Okay, so we left the wick up here like this on purpose. So what I want you to do, is I want you to carefully, and I'll show you 3 times, pull the wick down so it's halfway. See that? Let me do another one. Watch this. Watch first. Look, you guys see that wick's way too high? I'm going to pull the wick down. Say when to stop. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Perfect. And what about this one? You guys tell me when to stop. Ready?
Stop.
Go ahead and pull your wick halfway down. I'm glad no one pulled it all the way out. I'm going to show you this just in case this happens in your room. I hope it doesn't, though. If I was to pull this all the way out, it makes kind of a mess, because then then this plant will die, because water goes up and the roots will grow down. So what I'm going to have to do now is take this and see if I'm kind of getting good at this, because let's see if I turn this over like that. And now I'm going to put it back in here like this. I'm only showing, I hope we don't have to do this, because right now those seeds are starting to germinate. Germinate means that the seed is going to crack open, and inside of that seed is 2 little leaves that are going to come up and 1 little root that's going to grow down. And germinate means to crack open. We need water and heat. So I got this back on here. I'm going to put this upside down like that. Maybe I can flip it over. This is the hard part. Let's see. Come on, Rick. There we go. There's my seed. Put my seed back. There's one of my seeds are still down there.
Your name is Rick.
And now, So we don't want to make sure you don't pull that wick out. So I'm gonna pull the wick back down. Now, stop, thank you. So now we're ready to add what's called the seed covering. This stuff is a mineral called vermiculite. So your teacher's gonna pass it down, you're gonna take a pinch of it, and look what I'm doing. I'm just taking a pinch and putting a little bit. This is seed covering. It keeps the seeds moist and it protects them. But look, just a little bit, see that? I'll do one more, then you guys can do it. So I'm just taking my fingers and going like that. Here's my one more. And I'm kind of grinding it up, covering the seed. Okay, go ahead and put your seed covering vermiculite on yours. The last things we're going to do is now we need to water these. So we're going to take turns watering. Now don't shoot the water because we don't want to knock the seed out. But I'm going to water these until water comes out the bottom. Is it dripping yet?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. When that's the case, I'm going to set it in here like this. Look, put it through. Goes through the bottom, right? I'm going to do that to my next one. Here we go.
And it's going to provide water for it.
We're going to provide water for it. Here's the next one. Keep doing it until water comes out the bottom. Tell me when water's coming out the bottom.
Water's
Okay,
coming.
that one's ready. Here's my next one. Go ahead and start that on your own.
Water's dripping.
Is water coming out the bottom?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, guys. Good luck.
How do we have two?
Hold it up so you can see that it's dripping.
I did a lot of work today. We have a class. Look, I did a lot of work today.
Oh, is it dripping yet? Yep, it's dripping. It's dripping. Okay, look at it. My turn. Careful. Careful. Wait. What the? It's not dripping. Yeah. It's dripping. Look at all. I know.
There, it's dripping. Crack us. Put it in and put it in here.
That's
Time. There you go. Thank you. All right.
Hey, nice job. You got all of them done? All right, good job.
And
Good
the
job.
other one. Right there.
Okay, so now your grow tub is ready. And you have on each one what team number you are written on the side of them. So you know your team. And it's real important that if for any reason you have to lift this up, don't do it unless your teacher says so. But watch what happens if I do this. What did you see I just did?
It goes, the string got off.
And that will kill the plant. So if you ever have to lift these up, make sure that all the wicks are in the water. And you want to keep the water level up. Now, for a seed to germinate, it needs water and what else?
heat.
Heat and sunlight. So that's where the grow box comes in. Let's go check it out. Grow box. It's real important that we keep track of the temperature. Now, we need to look at the thermometer in this one, and we'll find out what the temperature is. Okay, it's real important that we know the temperature every day, because these plants need to be between like 70 degrees Fahrenheit, but not more than 78 or 77, because they, like all living things, have optimum growth. So, we need a thermometer. Ms. Barton, you have a thermometer we could use?
Yeah, here we go.
All right, so here's our thermometer. We're going to put this, a piece of tape. We're going to put this in here, and let's see what the temperature of our box is. Let's give it about a minute to find out, to warm up. Okay, so the temperature, everybody record this, and every time you make observations, record the temperature. The temperature is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Perfect. If it gets too hot, monitor this. We'll put some holes in the top to let the heat come out.
Okay. Go ahead and set it far back. Jennifer, you may bring your grow tub. Jameer, you may bring your group. Clovis, you may bring your groups. And Precious, bring yours.
What do you want me to do with this?
All right, so in the next couple weeks, you're going to learn a lot about plants. You're going to learn that there's different parts of the plants. For example, the roots. You're going to learn about roots. You're going to learn about the stem. You're going to learn about the leaf. You're going to learn about flower buds and flowers. In fact, on day 16, it's pretty important. You're going to take a little paintbrush and you're going to move pollen from one flower to another flower. You're going to be the bees. You're going to be doing the job of the bees to pollinate your flowers. Your teacher will explain more about pollination, because without pollination, they will not be fertilized and they will not make seeds. You see, the flower is going to turn into a seed pod. And inside that seed pod is where your baby seeds will be. In fact, I'd like to show you in just a moment a short video where I did a time lapse that went from seed to pod in about 30 days. Let's check it out. Okay, what you see here are plants starting to grow. This will happen for you guys. These are some seedlings. Those little leaves are not these leaves are not true leaves. Here come the true leaves. The first two leaves are actually inside the seed. It's starting to grow, which means get bigger, and develop means new parts. So the second leaves are new parts. Here comes the flower bud. The flower bud turns into a flower. Now this is where you'll pollinate. So you see that here comes the flower, and there's the pollen, the different parts that you're going to have to move your paintbrush from the stamen to the pistil, and then the flower dies and the seed pods grow. And that's what you're after. You're going to be scientist farmers growing Brassica Rapa. Are you ready for it?